I want you to think about the following, okay? You came from a supermarket. You purchased some ingredients because you're about to cook for you and your children. And your husband is coming later. So I'm using a female example now. So you're cooking, and while you're cooking, your children come home. You say good evening to them, they're happy to see you, and after a while your husband comes home. He kisses you, some little physical affection, and he goes to sit, and then you serve the food. When you're about to sit and eat with your family, someone knocks on the door. And the children ask, who is it? So you go and open the door and see that this is a guy. He doesn't even introduce himself, just pushes you to the side in your own home, walks towards the table and takes some of the food that you put on the plate of your children. Your children think, hey, what's going on? Who are you, stranger? And you and your husband tell your children, be quiet, get along with it. The children, rightfully so, are protesting because they think, who is this stranger? He rang the bell. When mom opened the door, he pushed mom aside and just comes, takes some of the food away. Now, this happens a few times. After a while, the children got used to it. Every evening, this stranger would come, and he would even demand of 2 full plates for themselves. So your mother had to, let's say you're one with children, you see that your mother has to go to the supermarket, cook twice as much, just to make sure this stranger here gets 2 plates. You only get 1 plate, and you can't get seconds. You can't get seconds because the rest of the ingredients need to go to those 2 plates for the stranger. After a few years, the stranger is replaced by another stranger. So then, one day, you have your own house, you're married, and then one day, you receive a letter in your physical P.O. box that tells you that from this and this day, you'll have to serve 2 full plates for someone that comes to your house to eat. It's just an announcement. It's not a request. You have no choice to go against it, and you're warned. If you don't prepare the 2 plates and you don't open the door, there will be hand grenades thrown into your backyard. There will be fireworks launched on your property, and your house will be burned to the ground. And if you resist the action, you may be kidnapped or even shot. So, just like your parents did, you also make sure the 2 plates are prepared in order, prepared with love. When a stranger comes, the stranger can eat. And often when the stranger comes, the stranger doesn't even eat it. The stranger just eats a few spoons and then throws it all on the floor. And when the stranger throws all on the floor, you need to clean it up. So it's in your house, where you live, where you pay rent, and you need to prepare 2 plates for a stranger. The stranger comes, only eats a few spoons, and throws the rest on the floor, causing a mess in your house, and leaves, and you need to pick it up. You're not allowed to complain. Now, what can be the justification for this treatment? I'm telling you, there is none. If literally anyone would ring your bell, and when you open, he would just push you aside and go right to your kitchen to pick up food, you would knock him out. Or in the United States of America, some people have guns, you may shoot at him for invading your home. Or you would at least call the cops on him, saying, what is this? This individual just pushed me aside and went straight to my kitchen. Now let me tell you, that treatment that I've just spoken about for the past 4 minutes, it's going on worldwide. It's called taxes or taxation. You have a group of people, a group of men who don't work, who do any physical labor, but they feel entitled to take away some of the income of your labor. And they tell you they take this income to invest in the country. Now, if they're taking a part of your income and they invest it in the country, you should see some benefits in it. But even then, who are they to just, out of the blue, demand something from you, and you just have to find a way to deal with it? There's no difference between someone knocking on your door, pushing you aside, and take away food that you've prepared, and threatening to harm you or to kill you if you don't allow them to do it. And when they do it, they make a mess and you have to keep your mouth shut and be happy. Look, it's not just when you have your wage, when you work, that they take taxes. If you own property, well, owning according to the rule, because human beings don't own anything naturally, well, let's say if you possess property like a farm or a building or just your own home, you also have to pay taxes for owning it. And if you don't pay the taxes, they come and take it away. Let's say there's a school building, or let's say a commercial building, and you purchase it for $500,000. It can be that every year you need to pay $100,000 in taxes for owning that property. Well, at least own according to the legal system. You actually possess it spiritually. Nobody owns anything on the earth, but you get what I'm saying. Hold on. You collected donations, or you saved your money, or you had investors, or you took a loan to purchase the building for $500,000, and now every year the IRS or whatever taxation service comes and demands $100,000 out of the blue with no justification why the amount is so high, and if you fail to pay, they can anytime come and take it away from you, and you have nothing to say but to shut up and comply. Who are they? Why are they entitled to your labor and to your efforts? Why are they entitled to just demand something and you just have to give in to it? Now look at what I'm saying here. Am I telling you to commit tax evasion and to get in trouble with the law? No. I just want you to think here. This does not add up. It doesn't add up. There's a group of people who don't make any efforts, yet they feel entitled to take things away from you. And it's also ridiculous that you have commoners out there that are working for these institutions and would do the taking away. Because those men who demand from you, they don't come themselves and tell you, give me your house or give me your keys. Because you would knock them out, you would shoot at them. So they send militias called the police or the military to take things away from you. They demand things from you, but they don't come into your face taking it from you. They don't dare to do that because they have mortal bodies just like you. They send other people with mortal bodies who are foolish enough to enact this anger to take this away from you. And the public just takes it. This shows you how cowardly worldly people are. But look at this. That same thing the governments are doing to their population is the same thing worldlings do to their scapegoats. Worldlings tend to blame their victims for things the victims are not responsible for just because they don't want to face life. So this exploitation is something in fallen mankind. The governments are just doing it on a professional level to get away while doing it, while commoners openly go out and violate people, or they covertly violate people in such a way just to get their high. And the governments are copying the behavior of the masses, but they do it in a more organized way. That's it. So it's a common thing amongst fallen mankind that people can just claim things and get away with their claims if they can violate you. And fallen mankind is kind of in agreement that if you can get away with violating someone, then you have your reasons for doing it. Look, there is no issue with you contributing financially to your country where you live, or to the country where you live. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the community demanding you to contribute, to do something. However, when they play God and feel entitled to harm you and expect you to get along with it, sorry, but that goes too far. There is no common sense nor natural sense can defend this. Now, but Joseph Rashid, Jesus paid taxes. Look, Christ paid taxes just to calm down the situation. Because even if the government would not have sent Roman soldiers to take things away from Christ or to arrest Christ, the public would think, hold on a minute, we are putting up with this. Who are you that you don't put up with this, huh? And then they would turn on Christ instead of turning on the leaders that are exploiting them. That's why Christ and the apostles pay taxes, just to shut the world up so they would be left alone. So, okay, that you need to pay rent, we can understand that. But hello, man. You have people who don't care about you. They just expect something, and like psychopaths, they feel entitled to take if you don't can give them what they want. Only someone with mental issues, at least you need to have mental issues for you not to see how wrong this is. Now, the world tolerates this, and they're miserable with it, but then they want you in that misery. I'm telling you, the world is organized in such a way that you're not allowed to be free. You're not allowed to be happy and free. You're supposed to be miserable with the masses. The moment you're not miserable with the masses, they'll force you to be miserable. And through taxation, they enforce misery on you. You can have a large farm where you live. You're self-sufficient with you and your family and your nearest kin. One day, you have those men in black who are Freemasons, work for the government, coming there, and they tell you need to pay 2 million in taxes. You ask them, why 2 million? They can't explain. It's just someone decides it's 2 million, and if you can't do it, well, they have a right to take the farm away from you and make all of you homeless. So they feel entitled to threaten you just to get something they can't account for. But you know what? When you walk by faith and you are wise as a serpent, they'll be afraid to even try that. That's why you have believers out there who are at peace and at ease, and the government nor the government agencies even dare to bother them. Why? Because they realize that the government is just a human organization held together by people with multiple bodies, and that's why they're vulnerable. So they realize that as a human being, he as a believer can also take action spiritually against them. And there are believers taking actions against the government on a spiritual level. When you do that, you will see chaos, dysfunction, uproar, rise, all kinds of stuff happening with the government. And the government knows, okay, where's this trouble coming from? Oh, we're bothering those believers. Okay, stop bothering those believers. Listen, saints. We tolerate the civil authorities of the world because they provide some type of ease against reprobates, so we get along with them. But we don't worship them, neither are we to silently give in to whatever they want. If any civil authority goes too far, or if any any community goes too far by tolerating bullshit from their authorities, we enforce spiritual repercussions on them, and physical consequences will come, and things will be held back. We are the police, the authorities of the world, as saints, because the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Those authorities who think they have a right to will whatever they will, they are illegitimate, and they know it. That's why they use violence to scare you into agreeing with them. So, okay, if they ask the tax, pay the tax, but also decree repercussions on them. If they misuse the taxes you've paid, they'll be ruined. If you keep doing that, you will have a leverage over them and over all the other gangs in the world. And this is what you need to remember. What we tolerate from the governments, we wouldn't tolerate it from just any random individual in the street. Oh, but here's the thing. Most people out there are not renewed in the mind, so they're worldlings, and worldlings do the same thing the government does, but they do it to victims who can't defend themselves. So, taxes are really a form of blackmail used on the masses to keep them in check. That's all it is. It's always to remember them, hey, you may have that big house over there, or you may enjoy your life at ease, but remember, anytime you can take it away from you, is a type of, there's a group of people who want to be relevant at your expense. So they want you to be miserable and fearful so they can have a grip on you. It's black magic. That's all it is. Black magic. That's why those authorities and governments use sun symbols and pagan symbols referring to Greek gods, because it's devil worship. It's black magic they're using on the masses. They do it in an organized way. And when you resist spiritually in a Christ-centered way, they know they need to back down. They know they need to be at ease with you. But if you respond with black magic, you may get some relief because it's the same system. But if you don't have black magic nor the supernatural, well, then you're just finished. Me, I don't fear any civil authority, nor any police, nor any government on this earth. If they even dare to make a dishonorable step towards me, fire and repercussions will haunt them on the long term, and they won't be able to quench the fire. That's how it should be with all believers. Those civil authorities or those worldly governments should be even frightened of making a misstep towards believers. That's how it ought to be. Right now, you have too many believers being frightened of the government. No, it should be the other way around. Keep walking by faith. Be at peace.